Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel once again. Today I wanted to talk about... stop going invisible! So today I wanted to talk about Watch Dogs Legion. And it keeps going invisible because my green screen, but... yeah, I want to talk about Watch Dogs Legion on the Xbox One. I was playing this on the Xbox One X. This is the optimized version for the Series X, so it's my first next-gen game. And it's the Gold Edition that includes the full game and Season Pass. Obviously can't make use of the Season Pass right now. But yeah, I just want to give you my review on the game. And this is my first kind of game review so on this channel. So I'm just going to chuck my thoughts out there and give it a rating. So yeah, let's do that. I do want to say the online function is not yet live on the game. It doesn't come out until December. So I'm going to revisit it. Now I haven't actually finished the story. I wanted to stop halfway and carry on the Xbox Series X on Tuesday, so I can kind of get the feel of the optimization for the Series X and see what it does, what it brings out of the game. I've heard that the lighting is really good and like the frame rate's good. There are some frame rate drops when playing this game. It doesn't always hit 60 FPS, so Watch Dogs Legion is a very good story. That's one thing I will say. I enjoy the story. I've always enjoyed the Watch Dogs stories, although it is not really... It does lack in character a little bit. Like, it's not... You can't compare it to GTA, where you have really well-developed characters. The same could be said for the first Watch Dogs game. The second one lacked character as well, and this one, well, it's more about what characters you want to hire. So I think they got a way around the character situation by having you hire anyone that you want. And that was a big marketing ploy for this game, and it works quite well. Although I will say the British accents do not suit the characters. They're obviously random voices attached to different types of character, and sometimes it doesn't quite work. You get like a young punky looking girl who has an old voice and you're just thrown off by that. That's a little bit strange for me. Like, my main character is an old dude that has like a really posh middle-aged voice, and it just doesn't sync up that well. And games generally with British accents have always been pretty poor. They don't seem to capture it properly. It's always fake British. You can tell if it's fake British. I don't know if you guys can in America or not. If anyone outside of the UK realises this, it might just be a British thing. They recreate London really well as well. The environment's great, although it is a condensed map. I tried to go where my wife worked in London, and we couldn't find it. It was almost like it was just crushed. Spittles Market, Old Spittles Market, is next to the Gherkin in the game, which is not the case. It's not so close as what it is in the game. They've condensed the map just a small amount to where there are certain parts of the city that you can't reach, which is a shame. I don't know how hard it would have been just to recreate the rest of it. It is a big map, but at times you find yourself going in the same parts all the time, and the rest is just kind of there. It doesn't feel populated enough for London either. That's another thing. Like, there isn't enough people out on the streets. There isn't enough traffic. London is very condensed in terms of people and traffic and movement. This felt like a lot of the roads were empty. That's a big disappointment for me, especially somewhere like Camden. There should be crowds of people. It's a shame, but it is what it is. They've got limitations. I understand that. One of my big problems with the game, though, is the fact that all of the weapons that you have are non-lethal, and you can't pick up weapons from police or enemies. You just can't pick them up. And it's like, really? Like, you can do that in every game. Why can't you pick up other people's weapons? And I was running around with this like almost taser handgun. It was a non-lethal handgun, and you just can't cause that much chaos with it. And it doesn't... It's just... The gunplay isn't great on the game, I'll be honest. It's very arcade-like, a lot worse than GTA. Like, GTA's weaponry is questionable at times, but this one, I wasn't a big fan of the weaponry and how they use it, and how dynamic each weapon is to the other. That was a bit annoying, but I do enjoy the hacking features. Obviously, Watch Dogs is very well known for its hacking features ever since the beginning of the series, and I liked that, the fact you can still hack into webcams. It does get a little bit tedious as you go, because you find yourself go to this box, hack that camera to see this box. They did use the the element of like the spider bot, which was cool, but that ended up being kind of a tedious, buggy platform. The music's good. They made some good music choices, some questionable ones only because they're British. They stuck them in. Things like Frank Turner, his song "Recovery" is in it. Yeah, and obviously he's British and popular, but it doesn't quite fit. And I just wish that more buildings were enterable. Like, I just wish more landmarks were kind of thought out a little bit better. There aren't many places you can actually go inside, and that again is a little bit frustrating. I thought we were past the days of just generic buildings that you can't go inside. You often see people going in and out of buildings, but you can't get in those buildings, and it's just a bit frustrating in that respect. But the driving stuff is really, really good. It feels smooth, it feels nice to handle. It feels a little bit stiffer than Grand Theft Auto, but it feels a little bit more realistic. With Grand Theft Auto, was one tiny turn just can send you off in a completely different direction. With this one, it feels a lot heavier and a lot more like you're behind a wheel. The customization was cool. How like every shop had different. Like every shop front had different clothing options. However, after a while, you start to realize that there aren't many clothing options. It's just almost like you have the same store in multiple different areas of the city. They just kind of repeat those types of stores. Like there's little London stores that sell the same London clothing, and that was a little bit frustrating because it is kind of misleading, because it seems like there are a lot more options than there actually are. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do with the online function and what that brings. But Watch Dogs Legion, definitely, I'm on the fence. I started off loving it. I love the open world, I love the story, I love the tone of the game. But there are a lot of problems, and it is kind of a typical Ubisoft game. In that it feels like a Ubisoft game, it feels like it's maybe a little bit on the rushed side. I feel like with a little bit more time, they could have, fine-tweaked it. There have been some reported bugs. I haven't come across any, other than when you meet the guy that you tag walls with, the guy that first shows you that. He was basically stood in the wall and his head was just sticking out the wall. So little clipping issues like that. There's a lot of clipping in the game. There's a few moments where people will like start swearing at you when you drive past them, like you're about to run them over. You're nowhere near them. So that's really odd. Just a few fine tweaks would have been nice. I'm sure they're going to patch it over time, but what happened to the days when you could just stick in a disc and the game was the game? It's not enjoyable enough just to go into the game and kind of wreak havoc and just spend some time exploring. Once you've explored the areas a few times, there's not much left there. You've got some mini games like darts and kick up and stuff like that, but nothing enough to make you keep going back like GTA style. Like with GTA, there's always something to do. There's always something fun to try. There just isn't enough mixture of vehicles either. Like I want to see planes and I want to see more stuff. There's boats, but you've only got the one stretch of the Thames really to explore. Once you've done that, it's a little bit boring. I'm gonna give Watch Dogs Legion a 7 out of 10. I'll let you know as we go with like the DLC and the online stuff, and then I'll also let you know what it's like optimized for Xbox Series X. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded it in a couple of weeks. Just been a little bit crazy, and I felt like I haven't had the content to bring you guys. But as these new games start coming out for next gen, I'm going to start reviewing them. On Tuesday, I'm going to be bringing you an unboxing of the Xbox Series X, and the following week, an unboxing of the PlayStation 5. So exciting week, a few weeks ahead. I've got lots of games to review for you guys and give you a shout. It's a good opportunity because a lot of people can't get the console, so at least I can tell you what games to get, what games to avoid, what accessories to get, what accessories to avoid, give you my thoughts on the consoles as we go and the different patches and what they do. So This is kind of like a journal of my experience with next gen as we go through it. So guys, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and let me know what you thought of Watch Dogs Legion down in the comments below. I'll see you real soon with the next one, guys. Take care of yourselves. What if this stream ain't give me a migraine? Baby seal in the fire!